Hello everyone, Steve Peterman here again. This is a supplement video tutorial for some extra features that are available if the application is used, the spreadsheet is used on a local machine that has the Excel app. These features are not available for the online version. So what I want to do is we'll start with the recipe that I used in the first one, which was the Hamilman rustic bread. And if you haven't seen that video, there'll be a link to it in the description for this video below and in the FreshLoaf site. But what I want to do is, this is all the same, except the only difference is in the first video, I only have one ingredient in here, of grouse. Now, there's a section down here that offers this additional feature because what's available for the local Excel app is the ability to edit the soaker water table. I wasn't able to allow that for the online version because those were community spreadsheets. Now, the way this works is that you can make adjustments to the soaker water table, these values here, if you feel like that's needed. So if you make a particular batch and you feel like that the hydration's off, then this section down here will allow you the ability to make an adjustment. Now, there's a caveat here. Only one soaker ingredient at a time can be used with the bread recipe. And that's because if there's more than one ingredient in the soaker, the system won't know which one is the culprit for causing the problem. And the final dough is too hydrated. Now, I thought about the ability to handle a drier final dough, but I think there's some problems with that because if the final dough isn't hydrated enough, and then you want to add water to get it to where you feel like it's right, the question is, are the ingredients really getting hydrated, or is there's just extra water in there? So I think this is a better solution where the final dough is too hydrated. So the way that you can make an adjustment is to add flour until you feel like you've gotten the hydration correct for the final dough. Now, in order to do that, we need to determine the final dough hydration percent, what the recipe is calling for, basically. Now, there's two ways to do that. If the recipe actually lists the final dough hydration percent, then you can put that in here. Unfortunately, a lot of recipes don't list that, and so we're going to have to calculate that. So in that case, well, let's say, for instance, the final hydration level is 70%, and that's listed in the recipe, then we're good to go. But if that's not in there, then we're going to need to determine the number of grams of water, total water, in the recipe. So again, I've got a little calculator here that will add that up. So you can go through the recipe and look at every place water is put in, pre-ferments, in the final dough, any other place that's put in, and add that up. So what we need to do is take a look at the recipe and see what water has been added at various places. So if we look here, we have 9.5 ounces of water put in the pre-ferment. Okay, so we can come up here, 9.5, we've got 269 grams, so we'll put that in there. take a look at the recipe again. We've got 12.5 ounces of water in the final dough. So that's 354. We've got a total of 623 grams of water that are for the total water in the recipe. So we put that here. That says that the final hydration for the dough in this recipe is 69%. All right. Now, to be thorough in this explanation, we need to consider some other things. Now, this recipe didn't have anything extra in here, but it could be that there are some extra things that contribute to the water that will hydrate the dough. For instance, I've got this table here, other water factors, that list ingredients that might be put in the dough that have free water in them that will hydrate the dough. Like for instance, milk, if the recipe calls for milk, 87% of milk is free water that would be used to hydrate the dough. So we'd look at a recipe and see how much milk was put in there. And you can go back and use the conversion tables if needed. But let's say 50 grams were put in. So that's 44 grams of water, free water, that we'd need to add here. Whoops. So you can take a look through this list. Buttermilk, yogurt. Some ingredients actually subtract water. Like vital wheat gluten will absorb water. So that's not available to hydrate the dough. So here, if you're putting in 10 grams of that, you'd need to subtract the total water. Vegetable oil and olive oil, those don't contain any water, but they're considered, as far as hydration is concerned, 100%. So that's what that is. So you come up with, let's go ahead and 649. Okay, with the added water that we got from the milk, let's take this out, I don't need it. 667. With the added water we had from milk, we have a hydration of 74%. So that takes care of this section. We know what the final hydration percent we're looking for is now, if it doesn't list that in the recipe. So now, if the dough feels too hydrated, which is one of the conditions for this, then we can add flour to the dough to get it where we feel like the hydration is right. So you can measure out a small batch of flour, and measure how many grams that is. So I've got a little table here to help with that. So let's say you measured out 50 grams of starter flour, flour to start with, and you start adding in flour until you get the hydration that you feel is right. So let's say it took 40 grams. You measured the flour at the end, it was 40 grams. So that means you use 10 grams. Okay? 10 grams of flour to get the hydration right. So what that's saying is that for oat grouts, the ingredient hydration should be 44%. So let's look over here, oat grouts. Room temperature water. It's saying that the hydration percent is 60%. But since we had to add flour, that means there was more free water in the system than planned. So now that's saying that we should adjust that hydration percent for oat grouts to 44%. So you can come over here, change this to 44%. So going forward, that should be more accurate for you. So that's how you can make adjustments if you feel like they're needed. Now I should say that when I did the experimentation on this, I found that I felt like it was pretty accurate and that I got the hydration that I wanted. But just in case, now I should also say that I haven't used every ingredient in here. So just in case you feel like there's need to be some adjustment, that's the way you can do that. That's adjustments. Okay. So now let's talk about how you can add an ingredient. So you look through here and maybe you realize that there's not an ingredient that you use that you want to use. Let's say we've got a method here for flax seeds, but let's say we want to use ground flax seeds. Take the caps lock off. And we're going to use room temperature. Okay, we know that for flax seeds, room temperature 130%. Now, we might think, well, ground flax seeds may absorb more water. This may not be the best example, but you know, whatever the ingredient that you want to add, you can look through this chart and see if you can find something that seems similar and get the hydration percent that's for that. Now the key is you want to list the hydration percent higher than you would expect. So for flax seeds, it's 130%. Let's just make this 150. And the reason you want to do that is because that means that the dough should be overhydrated when you finish. That's why you want this higher than that. So you're going to have to add flour, which is the key. So now we can come back here and find our ground flaxseed. You make the batch with this 45 grams of ground flaxseed and 136 grams of water. And hopefully it feels too hydrated, so it's too loose. So now we already know that the recipe calls for, what was it, 69%. So now the recipe's too hydrated, so we start adding flour. So here again, say we put in 38 grams of flour. The end was 38, so we added 12 grams. So now that says that for ground flaxseed, the hydration should be 132%. So we can decrease that to what looks right. And that's how you can add a new ingredient. Now, to be honest, it might take a few iterations of this to get that right, but at least you have the ability to add an ingredient that's not in the list if you want to. So that covers, I think, how to use this extra feature to make an adjustment to a soaker factor, soaker hydration level in the soaker water factors if you feel like it's necessary, or add a new one. Now, if you have any questions about this, feel free to leave a comment below in the video or on the FreshLoaf post that I put there, or you can email me down here. So I think that's it. Now I'll put links in the description below this video and on the FreshLoaf side for you to download the spreadsheet for this, so you can use it on your local computer. And if you have any suggestions, comments, feel free to do that. But hopefully that'll all work for you. Thanks for watching. Bye.